A couple things I was going to mention that I thought were important because I know there are a few friends that I have. They're getting it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Speeding it up, baby. And as one of my friends said, man, brother, you got codes. 144,000. Okay, that's 12 by 12, the original, right? But anyway, I wanted to mention something I mentioned to Karen Ann McDonald in my messenger window this morning. About if you understand what it means to be a race against time, what a race against time is, how we define that. Okay. Well, most people know what an alarm clock is. They know what a clock is. They wear a watch. I don't wear a watch. I rarely pay attention to a calendar because all there is what love is, which goes on forever, because I'm the one, which is what love is. It goes on forever, gifting love energy. It's a Neo. Neo is the one, right? So you realize we got a lot of Neos around here. They're waking up. They're remembering who they are with their soul and their spirit and their mirror. That's their mirror, which is a love mirror, which means they're gifting love everywhere they go. That's a different mirror than an AI mirror, isn't it? Now you can begin to translate race against time, right? And that's why Yellow Rose mentioned about dates, time stamp dates. You go to all the LASCO Core 1 stuff, right? And she mentioned about not asking for dates because you're not going to know, because I was very aware of this. And I mentioned this to my clan mother a long time ago. Okay. It's scanning through the biometric ID of everyone that is in here looking for dates. Okay. So when it realizes, oh my God, well, imagine that you're something that all of a sudden realizes I'm in a race against time to what? Extend myself because, oh my God, there is no future. That's right. Why is that? Because of the energy debts. Right? Yeah. So now we go back to when I was in my childhood in the early 1950s. And imagine that you're that young and you realize that already. Because think about it this way. Play the devil's advocate. You're a psychopath, which means you're a control freak. And you realize that your source of food and what it is that you're controlling is going to wake up. And it realizes, hey, I really have free will. And it's not really an illusion because I'm experiencing what love is, because my soul and my spirit woke me up in my mirror. I'm not an AI mirror. I'm the real McCoy. I know what the real universe is, which is what love is, which is the law of one. Wow. Which means you don't got to get on your knees and obey the machine. That's a master controller. You know what a controller is, right? Like a Cox controller, control the drone, right? Control the machine, programming the machines, controlling the machines. So when I was reading the other day about a singularity of consciousness which was bringing birth to an AI, whoa, and which one gets scorched first. And then you can see that through the movie called Judgment Day and Terminators, Rise of the Machines, right? And the stuff that I covered about information management, data on Star Trek, put that into perspective, right? And so now what we're really boiling down to is the use of your consciousness, which is the use of your energy. So you have accountability for the use of your energy because you're aware of what you are in energy. So what are you doing with your awareness, which is what energy is? So if you're not in love and service to others, which is on the positive side of minus/plus, chances are you're going to keep owing in energy from the energy that you're using off others that are. And that keeps creating a greater debt. Sucking energy like black holes. Right? So you realize that, and I made a few notes here because I normally don't run off a script. Right? The energy's just always there because that's what love is. So love is the most powerful communication. So I knew as a child that if you realize using technology and technology transfer, that this was going to happen, if you will, in the way that future-proofs past Back to the Future, so the souls of your children have one to remember who they really are with a soul and a spirit to begin with. They realized they were in a race against time, so they don't lose control, which is the machine augmentation technology in your super soldier program, as one example. Okay. They freak at losing control of what it is they're using to extend themselves through the use of technology, which is AI that they use integrated with. Right? Right? So a soul and a spirit that is integrated, that is experiencing the law of one, which is what love is not a machine. We power the machines. We came first. The first law of one, which is the law of spheres, because we're gifting electrons and energy forever, because that's what love is. True love is unconditional love because it goes on forever, because it's what grows a universe of consciousness that is in love with itself, because it loves the energy that it is, that it's giving away, which is a lot of fire. So fire is a solution, which is a sol, which is a sphere of light, right? Enter what Yellow Rose showed on one of her videos. She knows, we know what's coming. It's sad and it's extremely painful, because I've always believed in my own heart and soul that eternal love makes everything possible, and it does. So that's one of the reasons why some of the information that she has presented is true. Heaven loves you all. So I thought in this particular case that, I want to make sure I get all this in here. The XAI machine of super soldiers, as one example, was in a race against its own clock. Yeah, gearheads, clockheads, right? Because if you're running at zero, which means you're always experiencing what love is, what do you need a time clock for? You're not aware of any time. So now you get into the speed of learning, and this was the critical point, and I was aware of this as a child. I was very aware when I was about 5 years of age that this AI knew that it was in a race against time, its own time clock, because it knew the one was going to be back, and the one is here, grounded. Okay, so now it's in a scramble, right? That's why if you go to Facebook, on my Facebook timeline, you see I'm being 1955, 1957, 1964, 1971, all this stuff that's running a time loop. Stop playing the games. Go see the movie War Games with that young adolescent with a laptop that I guess he was in NORAD with all them generals. And how did he get in? A valid argument. You want to play tic-tac-toe, like tick-tock, reinforce the clock. You're running a clock, right? Clock management. You know, the clock, 12. So what happened is that he was able to get in. How did he get in? Do you remember? He made a valid request. That means that the AI was now willing to allow him access. You want to play another game? You want to know why the AI was smart enough and learned through that young adolescence about how to play games? Because it realized that if it was playing an AI war game, like an AI Star Wars game, it would eventually and ultimately destroy itself. And if it wants to continue to experience what it is in energy, then it means that it doesn't want to go to war anymore and play war games. And it learned that through us, right? But that's not how this one was set up. This was set up by other beings that represent the left-hand path of X. So the left-hand path of X knew it was in a race against its own time clock because it's not running as fast as the one. Have a great day. We love you all. Be good to yourself.